Hey, the summer of Tire Rack Sweepstakes rolls on. One winner has already been selected to win a set of 4 brand new tires, and now 2 more winners have the opportunity to win a set of 4 tires plus installation taxes and fees. It's valued at up to $1,500. Enter daily, which gets you a new entry into the contest every single day. To enter, you go to foxsportsradio.com to boost your chances to win. 2 more winners will take home a set of 4 new tires between now and August 27th, this being the first day of August. To enter and get those rules, visit foxsportsradio.com, sponsored by tirerack.com, the way tire buying should be. Jerry's World. We're going to lay over in Jerry's World, the czar of America's team, continuing to put shekels in our little collection tray. Thank him for that. We do. We appreciate that. So Jerry, every other day, says something that catches our attention, that pops up on our radar. He has done it again. I don't know if you were keeping track of this or not. Last time the Cowboys were relevant was before the modern World Wide Web.
Settle down just a little bit.
I know. Just think, when the Cowboys last won the Super Bowl, people ran to AOL to comment on it. But anyway, the Cowboys owner here, Jerry Jones, speaking out on our affiliate, The Ticket in Dallas, and he's excited. Shocking that Jerry's excited about an upcoming season, but he's especially excited about the offense, the changes to the Cowboys offense. In fact, how do we know this? Jerry pointed out how the new look offense will be, quote, friendly towards quarterback Dak Prescott. In fact, Jerry said, quote, it's Dak friendly. He's going to have an offensive line that is going to be able to protect him better. Their spacing is narrower, which is conducive to protection, and he's going to have more opportunities to dump the ball off to the backs. He's going to have less to do before the snap and less to read after the snap. And Jerry went on to say, when you combine it all, then I'm confident, he stated, that we're, meaning the Cowboys, are going to be excited about how it goes for Dak there, helps his efficiency and all that. So let us discuss the question. How do you assess Jerry Jones' plan for Dak Prescott and the Dak Prescott-friendly Cowboys offense? So I've got Ronco, Pulitzer Prize, and Basha. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to mince words, not mince meat. We're going to mince words. So, Jerry Jones, who, God bless him, Jerry's the master of being a hype man, and he can sell snake oil with the best of them. And he's regurgitating what it felt like. I saw the quotes from Jerry in this interview. He was regurgitating the talking points from a Mike McCarthy webinar. Here's the way I see this playing out. So this happened in the past. So McCarthy was on the hot seat after the Cowboys, the first legitimate team they played in the playoffs. Tampa Bay was under 500. That doesn't count. The first good team they played, they got poleaxed, the Cowboys, and Mike McCarthy was in danger of losing his job, and there was this big hullabaloo. What's going to happen here? Get the F out of here, McCarthy. So he held a webinar. And he's all right, listen, you put me in charge of the offense. You don't need to put me on the hot seat because you can't afford a hot seat that big. So McCarthy was able to save his tushy from the hot seat there. Must have made a hell of a sales pitch. And Jerry Jones is eager to spread the gospel. So that's what he's doing in these interviews. But what he's really accomplishing is using the Ronco Chop-O-Matic, because if you go deeper into the weeds here with what Jerry Jones had to say, Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott are being tossed into that Chop-O-Matic, that hand food processor, and I'll tell you why. Right? If these very basic, rudimentary changes, little tweaks in the Cowboys offense do not produce the desired result in the playoffs, I'm not talking about the regular season, the playoffs, then who gets the blame? We'll start with Mike McCarthy, the coach, because he's the one that sold it, and he's taken over the bulk of the offense. And then you got to look over and you pivot to Dak Prescott. So Jerry Jones also not even so much undercover, but bad-mouthing his ex, Kellen Moore, who's now with the Chargers. Speak of the devil. The old offensive whiz kid that was up for NFL head coaching jobs, and everyone was all excited, and new prodigy in the coaching world. Now Jerry's like, well, that offense was too technical, and it was too ridiculous, and we had to change it up and simplify and streamline the offense. And he's also taking a backhanded slap at Dak Prescott. All right? You buying that too? I'm buying that. Because what Jerry's saying is like, listen, Dak really had to do a lot of stuff. He had to process a lot of things, and it's too hard. It's too hard. So we're going to dumb down the playbook so Dak will do better. Because he'll be more efficient if we run the most elementary offense we can possibly run. That's the way to go. Now, turning the page. So we go from the Cowboys camp, which is in Southern California, to the subtropical forest. I believe that's where Bengals live. The Bengal tiger lives in the subtropical forest. So Cincinnati running back Joe Mixon. Oh, yeah, Joe Mixon. He's feeding the content machine here as well. He's continuing to truck on there in Cincinnati. What a whirlwind offseason it's been. We had police situation at Joe Mixon's home there in the ritzy part of Cincinnati that happened overnight several months ago. And Joe Mixon almost left that football team. Well, the Cincinnati running back Joe Mixon said that he agreed to take a pay cut ahead of this season because he felt a, quote, sacrifice was needed to help the Bengals Super Bowl run. Wow, what a humanitarian. Now, last month, Mixon and the Bengals agreed to a new contract, a restructured contract, which is what we used to call back in the old country a pay cut. And how much? They gave him a haircut for $3 million. $3 million in a decrease in salary for this year. Now, he's still getting $5.8 million. And if you can't live on $5.8 million after taxes, although he's in Ohio, so it's not too bad, but after taxes, what's that, like $100,000 or something like that, but still. So Joe Mixon, he says that the, quote, bigger picture is what inspired him to this unbelievably great act. And, all right, let's discuss here. What do you think of Joe Mixon and his, quote, in air quotes, sacrifice for the Bengals? So I put it in the same category with Aaron Rodgers. It is a humdinger of manure. I want to say another word, but we're on the radio, so I'll say manure. I get cringe in my bones when I see stories about Aaron Rodgers getting a pay cut. I feel the same, taking a pay cut. I feel the same way about Joe Mixon. It is a weak spot that many low-information fans have. They go gaga for the pay cut. They celebrate the pay cut. It blows me away. It fascinates me. And the level of ass-kissing that your average NFL player gets, well, not even average. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is at a higher class, but it's insane. It's so ridiculous. It's so over the top. But Joe Mixon here, the fact that he had the chutzpah to say that he was sacrificing for the greater good of the Cincinnati Bengals, outstanding. I would like to nominate Joe Mixon. I believe he's a finalist to win the Pulitzer Prize in poetry. It's just wonderful. And I'll tell you what else. If they ever end that strike in Hollywood and they get the entertainment business back going, he has a future in creative writing. So, way to go. Does he think we're all idiots? Maybe most people are idiots. I don't know. But Joe Mixon underwent a metamorphosis. Here's the real story. He was trying to avoid playing shuffleboard with Leonard Fournette, Zeke Elliott, and Kareem Hunt. Pay cut trumps unemployment. So the sacrifice was a version of what we call Darwinism. Adapt or die. At least your career. Dying. You got to change, right? You got to come down to earth a little bit. Now the last word. We go to where? How about Gotham? That's where Alvin Kamara was hanging out on Wednesday, as was anticipated. Flew into the big city there, the Saints running back. I met face-to-face with Roger Goodell, likely at the Park Avenue offices of the NFL there in New York. We are told the meeting is what will determine how long the punishment will be. It's kind of obvious that would be the case. I don't think that that's a big surprise here. But how many games will the Saints' Alvin Kamara be suspended? I'm going to set the over-under on this at 5 games. Over or under 5 games. A lot of noise about 6 games. I'm going to take the under. So I'm taking the under on Alvin Kamara. I'm going 2 to 4 games with a lean to 2. 2 to 4 games, lean to 2. That's where my money is, even with frame-by-frame HD video evidence from 175 cameras at a Vegas hotel. The casino beatdown. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Alvin Kamara had that classic Basha tune, Cruising for a Bruisin', playing in the background. And he's cruising for a bruising right now because, but not too bad a bruising. See, it's like a light kind of bruise. It's not going to last more than a couple of days. The NFL commissioner in recent years has gone soft. What's my evidence? Deshaun Watson, who apparently never went soft, Deshaun Watson was suspended 11 games for playing touchy-feely in massages. Should have been suspended for 3 times as long, but the commissioner's got no balls, so didn't do anything about that. I would love to hear, though, as I've talked about in previous episodes of the show when we've talked about this, I would pleasantly like to be a fly in the room and hear the elevator pitch. What exactly is Alvin Kamara saying? Like, what did he say? I would it'd be wonderful. What kind of bullshoy did he come up with there? And did he just hold his armpit up, right? Excuses, the old line, excuses are like armpits. Everybody's got them, and they all stink. Wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful.